This is the Weekly Wires.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Wire. Our update this week is that we are going to do our annual staff password change. That's just good digital hygiene to change our passwords at least once a year. What we decided though is that we're going to do it after spring break. And we can see that anyone who logs into SSRPM, it's the option to change your password in the CUSD bookmarks. That's called SSRPM. That's a self-password changing system. So not in Google itself, but doing it through SSRPM leaves a log for us, and we can see that this person has changed their password. If you change it between now and the forced password change after the spring break, we're not going to make you do it again. So I say get out in front of it. When you have time this week or next week, just go change your password in SSRPM. And that way, we won't make you do it again after spring break. If we get to after spring break and we don't see you in our logs of people who changed their password, we're just going to force a password change. So I say get out in front of it and do it then. Good practices, by the way, for SSRPM. It always makes you pick 2 security questions to prove it's you. One gripe I have about SSRPM is some of the questions you can pick are very, like if you ask me my favorite breakfast food, well, last week it was a carne asada burrito, and this week it's a bowl of yogurt because it's much healthier. So it changes. I would say try to pick questions that are just facts for all of time, the street you grew up on, etc. There's actually really good security practices that say you should pick those questions, but intentionally pick wrong answers to them because some people close to you know the answers to those. I'll let you decide if you want to take that much digital hygiene. My point is more so, I see a lot of people who forget their security question answers because it's stuff that changes all the time. Anyway, point being, if you change your password now, don't worry about it for after spring break, and then we'll just do the forced change then for anyone who needs to. Our highlight this week is we were so excited 2 weeks ago on Wednesday to meet so many of our Carlsbad community members because they came to our first of 3-part series for the AI committee. It was really amazing. We sat together, great discussion, did an activity that let us create this value statement about how we think, what we value in education that we'd like to see AI amplify and not replace. That was amazing. We're going to take that value statement this next week and meet again with the committee to look through our actual guidelines for using AI, not just from a philosophical level, but from actual day-to-day operations level in the classroom, in the workspace. And we're going to say, let's make sure our values actually line up with those guidelines. We're really excited to do this great work, and I appreciate everybody who has joined the committee. There's still time to, by the way. We can put a link in our show notes so that if you'd like to join our committee, even if you missed the first one, you are more than welcome to come join us next Wednesday on the 4th at Kelly from 5 to 6 p.m. Okay, I'm going to pass it off to our TOSA for technology, Callie Fleury, and she's going to walk you through this week's tip and trick.
Did you know? Embedded within your Gmail, you can create templates with your email account that you can use over and over again. So if you have emails that you send consistently, so in this example, I am going to show you like a welcome email. So maybe every beginning of the year, I send a TechTosa welcome. I have my email and I want to keep this from year to year because it's something I send all the time, or maybe I send it every single time I know of a new teacher, right? So what I do is I make my draft, including the subject. I go down to the 3 dots at the bottom of my draft where it says more options, go to template, and then save draft as template. And then I'm going to save as a new template. I'm going to go ahead and keep it TechTosa welcome because it's going to make that my subject, and that's what I want the subject to be. And if I delete this draft, go back to compose, and then if I click on the 3 dots again, templates, and I click on TechTosa welcome, it now populates the subject and what I had written in that original draft. So it just makes it quick and easy for you to have these emails to use over and over again. Another way you can do this, you can go into a Google Doc, and let's say I have a folder that's titled beginning of the year, and I just want everything from the beginning of the year to live within that folder, including emails I write. So I can maybe call this welcome email. I can go to insert, it's called a building block, and then email draft. Here I'm going to put TechTosa welcome, and then I'm going to paste in my my email, and I can actually even put people in. So like, I don't know, let's pretend that I am going to send this to Kim. I can do that here. I can click on preview in Gmail. It opens up this box. And there's my draft right there. The only thing is when you do it in the Gmail, you do have to insert your signature if you have one. But that's how you do it. Now my signature's in there and I can send it directly from here. So now every year I just have my welcome email ready to go and it's in my folder and I can send it as I would like. Obviously, you can think of other ways that you can have templates that you use often for improving your workflow.
This has been the Weekly Wires.